Mm-hmm. Yeah, the histories is quite inconceivable. And when we look at this, to read or to check these different histories, it is like many different happened on the past, like same as our present situations. But everything is like kind of gone. It's a history. And to concern that, and those kind of histories to demonstrate to ours, and saying that everything is like impermanent. And also it's like there is one Tibet king. He's a wonderful king, and he brought all the Dharma from India, called the Dzogchen, brought 2/3 of the Jampa under his powers. And he was first times very much warriors. Before he became the king, and he made a lot of wars with different countries, and so like a lot of kind of the Mongolia. It is very much. And then it's certainly, and he looked at his histories, families. But of course, he's very gentle. He's want to do which is best. When he speak on the king, and his grandfather and grandfathers, and they did like the scenes, songs and gambos, then start Buddha's teachings brought into the Tibet. And then it's like he more concerned in which is good culture or the spiritual path, and also different histories. And then it's like he choose the spiritual path, is the Buddha's path. Very wonderful, his decision. And then he tried to invite it like a great master, the Guru Rinpoche, Shentarachita, and Bamalamata, so on. And then, but also this is just history, this kind of powerful and persons, even in Tibet. And this is kind of the Tibet history. Okay, maybe Tibet, but in our Westerns, how many is like before, which kind of happened, each different countries. And we have this kind of histories. To look at the histories and what happened in the past, maybe there's powerful and a strong king, ruler, rich. All of them is like kind of the story. Even in Belgium, you go to in the outside, some in these areas, how many monasteries and the Christian monasteries, very huge, big, amazing buildings like the church, everything. Now it's the ruin out. Whoever living in these monasteries, maybe there are many great practitioners. All of them are gone. Just now it's the ruin. There's like kind of thread. It's just story. And to look at this, maybe we don't need to say a good or bad history, but to look at that, this is the impermanent. Of course, I'm impermanent. I'm like kind of the certainty my impermanent is coming well. And until I reach there, I need to do quickly to the Dharma. That is the very important. And also in Tibet, there's during the ring of the Rinpoche. This is also one king. It's very, very powerful. And the iron pillars was erected on the banks of the Ganges, making the frontier between India and the Tibet. And that time it's like kind of the put, and this erected is like a kind of iron pillars to say there is the front between. This kind of the powerful. And also, let's say Tibetan the exercised power in the many regions of India, China, Kesars, and Tajikistan, and other many different countries. At the New Year's festivals, ambassadors from all those countries were required to spend one day in Lhasa, such as the Tibetans' power in the past, but it did not last, and nowadays, apart from the historical country, and nothing is left. Reflect on those past splendors. Wonderful these things. It is already gone. For example, sometimes Dharma practitioners and it's like thinking about in the Sami monasteries, king as the Dharma king, and the master is the Guru Rinpoche, Shanta Rakchitas, and the surround is the five Buddha, the five Guru Rinpoche's disciples, extraordinary masters. And when you're thinking like this, at that time, if I was there, it's so wonderful. But only in the history, we cannot to met. But also, we are not that unlucky, you know. We are lucky. Still is the Guru Rinpoche, those like master's instructions, still we have. And we can to practice. Also, maybe still we can to search in this world. There are some living beings, you know, living Buddha's being. And maybe we can to try to get, if you really want to do something benefit for yourself. I mean, it's like, of course, sometimes it's like says, yeah, doesn't matter. You know? Okay, then doesn't matter. Oh, this is our Westerns. We are Westerns. Oh, yeah, this. One day, once I was in London, there's one student. This person say, "I difficult to practice Buddhas." Why? Because he's India. If he is a British guy, I would to really follow. I want. This is dualistic. It is very much. If you go to each country like this, maybe if you go to Tibetan, some Tibetan like a fanatic, very strong people. If Buddha is Tibetan, we are very happy because he's India. Maybe it's difficult. It doesn't matter. Eastern, Western, South, North, white, black, and someone's become the enlightenment, is a compassionate. Why not? It doesn't matter who you are, which kind of like a region, which kind of countries. It is the very important. This person is enlightened, and in this case, is wherever there's something great, compassionate masters, enlightened. We need to search him, to quickly, and to follow, to receive the serious teaching. And also it's very important, very, very important to follow our benefit, to correctly. Sometimes it's according to our disturbing emotion. Our disturbing emotion means it's like our like according the condition. Sometimes once I was in Nepal, in the Helsinki. And one is like persons we went to in the outside countries, and these persons just to come from the Nepal few days ago, and the driver and they go out. Oh, wonderful, my country. Why? Because also all the signals, this sign, you know, where you want to go. Oh, it's a civilization country. But also it's a kind of coding the civilization, coding the countries. Sometimes it's like kind of inside we have such arrogant, proud, and like kind of this. This make a lot of obstacles. And until we be the enlightened man, what does mean the arrogant, the proud, or the civilizations? Means it's like it's like these countries everywhere. Such intelligent science in the historically, there's a presently someone's amazing produce electronic things. Look, they make fly things, and they make such kind of the material things doing it, but I'm not sure they are enlightenment. Even they receive the right immediately something impermanent, maybe they are very scared. In their mind, 100%, there is nothing improved and kind of the guarantee not to be afraid for the death. And then is a worldly general knowledge is what is the for. Okay, in the worldly, it is the wonderful. It is you have studied in the school, everything. We are kind of the civilization. Of course, it's a country beautiful, but one is the death process start. That moment, I'm not sure I'm in Laos like to be in these beautiful countries. How many years? I'm now not anymore Tibetan person. It is the Western, but we have many different friends. If you ask to the science, rich, powerful person, if you're talking about impermanence, they don't like to talk about. And do you know how you can control your death? It doesn't matter. It's die. And the kind of the proudly involved of politicals and the like financially, how I can to become famous, and they are struggling. And like also it's like most our people's rich, they want to more rich, they're more rich. Once I have something, the friend in the near the Zaventem, and once it's like financial problems, and this person is really like kind of cry. Now everybody's big problem, Benjamin, not good. Say, what is my situation? It's very bad. I say, okay. And then I say, it's like, okay, which financially not very good. Now I have just 5,000 salary for a month. It's nothing enough. What? 5,000 per monthly. And this person's earning money. Then this person say it's like nothing enough. For example, some rich spend it per monthly almost 30, 60,000 for just kind of funny things, but still clinging, still also stolen, still is going things. And also sometimes it's like a kind of funny things. It is like some rich as much as stolen also other things. Embarrassed things, they can do it. And then it's the richest what? Which kind of the benefit? And in this case, to have these educations, to think about impermanent, to prepare something as make happy and like this, and it's wonderful. Therefore, sometimes when we practice Dharma or something, and to do the like things, it's very difficult for our conditions. Make proud, make arrogant, make like this. Then we can do a little bit reading these histories on the past. Most how many is like this. It's once I watched how do you say Macedonia? I think not Yugoslavia. It's a big trouble and there's country problems. And the Yugoslav president, some in the European president, some other says, you shouldn't do like this. You cannot do like this. He says, it's my country. Whatever I want to do. Then nobody cannot to say it. But the first year, he's president. Second year, he's lost, and he's become prisoner. He died. I think finally he died in the prisoner. It is, look, this kind of powerful and this very strong person is impermanent. First president, secondly, he become the prisoner, die in the horrible areas in the prisoner. And think like this, today is something rich or powerful, very civilization, but what we don't know tomorrow. Or this kind of conditions, what is the help to our in the impermanent? And reflect on that. It is really is like those past, like the splendors, and then we need to make it enthusiastic in order to practice compassion and to develop something in our mind, Dharma City. Compared to them, our own homes, belongings, servants, status, and whatever else we is like a price seem altogether no more significant than the behaviors. And there is like a bride, it's like kind of the nest of the honey bears and some bird's nest. And it's just nothing a little bit, there is what is like we need to be proud, what we need to be arrogant, what we need to be laziness, what we need to not to thinking about the impermanent. and those our belongings, material things, it doesn't help to us for the impermanent. And now to quickly concerning, meditate on the impermanent, to urgently need to do practice Dharma. And practice Dharma, yesterday I said, it is really is the principal Dharma is the compassion we need to develop. And the second is maybe we need to develop the wisdoms and to understand the nature of our own nature of the realities, and reality of in this relative truth and the absolute truth. There are such and different things, possibilities, entrance door of the Dharma. There are many to research quickly, this or that. There is like kind of it's 9 yanas, 9 vehicles. Each entrance door is the Dharmas. Purification of the past, the negative habitual tendencies, and to more create the positive tendencies, and to make the future good, these things. And meditate deeply, it's honestly, really sincere. Ask yourself how you could have thought that those things would last forever and never change. And this kind of, it's like ever like the unchanged, or never like ever like kind of the permanent things. There's not existence. There are no permanent, there's no stability things. And in this perspective, my body, my verb, my mind is also changeable. It is need to go through the impermanent. I need to really want to a little bit practice Dharma. And would you like to provoke me? Would you like to argue with me? Oh, yes, yes, yes. And this is now is the 5th chapter. Yes.
Rinpoche, all these kings that have been mentioned here, are these, as Tibet has been very big, have they been king of every region at the same time, or have they been gradually kings of the whole region?
Many, those kings control all the Tibetan.
Okay. Other question.
Yes.
Page 24, it is written about the king Dzogchen Wangpo.
Yes.
And it is written about the king Trison Detsen.
Yes.
So, is it correct that the king Dzogchen Wangpo is of the Kagyu lineage and gave the Dharma to Milarepa and all those, and Trison Detsen is for the lineage of Guru Rinpoche and so on?
No, wrong.
So what is correct, please?
Correct is a king is a king. It doesn't matter Kagyu Nima Sasha. It's king is king. There's like one king is give like this, one king is give that, not.
Okay, and then it is page 25. It is about the region of India, China, Gezer, Tajikistan. So there is someone called Gezer the king, and who was a Dharma practitioner or not, and where at that time
there
was
is a different type of the tangible, like the Gezer is there. I think it's like some Kazakhstan or something there is. Intangible, there's a historical, in Tibet, link Gezer link, it is a Dharma practitioner. And the other one is maybe not.
So it has been in ancient time a region called Gezer, and this king Gezer the king.
And this is in the historical in the Tibet. There's a bit sometimes like showing that a theater here, something. This link Gezer is in Tibet. This is just a little bit mysterious history. But this one is a practitioner, Dharma.
And those other ones which I already heard in Dharma text, these Trisondetsen and
Oh,
this
yes.
Dzogchen Gapo,
Yes.
they also
Troson
have
Detsen is a Songtsen Gombo, and then we have created Tibetan language, written language. Before, of course, but that time is called the one great master is the Thomas Sambota. He created. Then after is we have language. Then there's Dhamma text. Songtsen Gombo, during the Songtsen Gombo, already Tibetan language is there perfect. And then all the India text is translated into Tibet.
But you have explained that the king Wangpo take 2 wives and they bring to Tibet the statues from these countries who have already been Buddhist, or what happens? Has there been Buddhism in Tibet during these kings, or does these 2 women bring the Buddhism teaching to Tibet, or what happens? Or they bring only statues, or...
Can you translate?
Her question is, did the 2 princesses from Nepal and China bring the Dharma to Tibet?
Yes.
Or was there already Dharma before them?
Yes, they're already Dharma, and also they brought some nice statue, nice things they brought. They are very good lady.
So if we stay in the history of Tibet, who brings the Dharma to Tibet?
Who brought? Who brought? Ah, Guru Rinpoche, Hyanta Rochita.
But the king La Trisondetsen is always mentioned together with Guru Rinpoche and with Charles, and not the other king. So before there has not been Buddhism in Tibet, or has there been?
They are a little bit started. They're not big, but they started. They're very much interested. But there are so arrogant people, in Tibet.
And
they don't want to
where
bring.
they get their inspiration then? Because you have to be inspired to practice Buddhism. And from where they got their inspiration before Guru Rinpoche, as it has been
Because
before Guru Rinpoche?
they heard the Buddha's teaching. Some there is a little bit. Someone went to India and they said, then they is inspired. Then they want to drink Dharma coffee.
Or has it been these both princesses that was also in cause of the inspiration, or not?
Those and what? Is they eat it Australia. Where? In Belgium? No, they got inspired in Luxembourg. Other questions do you have? Yes. Mm-hmm. That's true. Okay.
I'm trying in English. Well, if I become, for example, a fly in my next life, what about the real nature of my mind in this case?
With yours.
During this life?
With yours. Never lose. Your nature of your mind is the principle. Your mind never, ever, ever lost. Wherever mind, there is the nature is there. Never. For example, I want to say this water, okay? This nature water is become this dirty or clean wherever I burn. This nature, water itself is wherever this water has disappeared, then of course that disappeared. Enter your mind is disappeared, never lost. Uh-huh. And on the, now it's the alon you have? Okay.
You told that in Tibet, kings of Tibet are emanations of Avalokiteshvara, Benzapani or Manjushri. And also it's also said that
Yes,
first
yes.
king, sorry, Nyatri Tsempo was a divine descent. He was an emanation of the Bodhisattva Nivaranis Kambin.
Yes.
And this Bodhisattva is different from the...
Yes, different. The first king is like this, but is mainly, I think, is Avalokiteshvara. Then this like Songtsen Gambo is, I think, is Avalokiteshvara. Chosun Detsen is the Matrishur. The Nyata Temple is, I think, is in Benzapani, asked to the Lopons, okay? And okay, yeah, and then what? Who has? No, Sonia, what do you have? Serious is not, no, I don't want to give on. Serious, yeah, okay, give to her. Give to her. No. Serious, if you ask, I will answer. Not, I don't want.
That's your choice if you answer or not. So
Okay.
I will put the question.
Okay, yes.
So before the dining room, there are two pitches that are...
Dining rooms.
Devant la cuisine, il y a les deux pigeons. Alors,
Yes.
alors en accord, en relation...
They are also impermanent. We need to take care, enter the impermanent. Okay, I think we need to break 5 minutes, okay? Tea, coffee.